and gentlemen, welcome back to Big Time Talkers. I'm Brock Gorton.
I'm Tommy Haley.
And Tommy, what a past week in baseball did we have?
God, first of all, we would like to apologize on how late we are doing this. There's just been so much that we really haven't had the time to record.
When we usually record, there was a wild card game. And then we were going to record Wednesday, and then we were like, well, there's another wild card game. And then we were going to record yesterday, Thursday, and then, well, you know, there was playoff baseball and a football game. So we just were like, you know what, let's just do it today.
Yeah, so.
Tell me, we mentioned the wild card game. The wild card game in question that caused us to not record Tuesday was the AL wild card game. And was it really any surprise in the outcome, Tommy?
No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
I mean, but the NL wild card game that Wednesday.
Well, you have to talk a little bit about the AL. I know. I mean,
there's really nothing to talk about. I mean, Aaron Boone is going to get fired this offseason.
He should get fired.
No, he's going to get fired this season.
I don't know. I think because he made the playoffs, he's still on thin ice, but I think he saved his job with it.
No, he didn't. They lost 6. What was the final? 6-2.
6-2 because of Giancarlo's solo shot in the top 9.
Yeah, and like 3-something to 3. What was that? Like 290 to right field in the pesky pole.
Something like that. It would have been a warning track.
That would pop out in any other MLB stadium.
No, not any other.
It would have?
No, because I think the Trops. I don't know. That was right field.
No. It might have gotten stuck up in the catwalk, but not it would not have been gone.
What's Wrigley's right field length?
Yeah, so the wind's blowing out.
Yeah. But I mean, that would have been, you know, that would still be on grass at Kauffman.
Can we talk about the Yankees radio call when Stan hit that stupidly long single?
Yes, go ahead.
No, the first one.
No, I know.
That was absolutely hilarious. And like we watched the electric chair with
Barstool.
With Barstool, and then like them celebrating it was a home run, and they found out it was a single.
It was hilarious.
And first of all, and then the Yankees' third base coach doing an all-time dumb move. I get it. It's like, yeah, it's the wild card game. Why not? But like, seriously, that was poor. The ball was literally at Xander Bogaerts' feet when Judge was halfway down the third base line.
Was that when they were down by 2 or 1 at that point?
I think they were down by 2.
Okay.
Yeah, they were down by 2.
Okay, well.
He was half. I'm arguing with my brother right now. He was halfway down the third base line. Where's that Bogaerts? Am I wrong?
Let's bring him in on this one. I want to hear his opinion.
What do you think? Did it make sense?
The baseball savant that he is.
All right, it makes sense at the time. It's a wild card game. It's win or go home. So you got 2 perfect throws. Bogaerts had to pick the ball and make a perfect throw to home. And, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to send him there, but you got to risk it, you know, because you have, I think, Gallo coming up, and Gallo's either a strikeout or a walk at this point in the season.
Strikeout at that point.
Strikeout, pop out, ground out, even out.
I mean, a pop out would work, but you'd still be down by 1 with a run. I mean, he might tag up from second. But it would make sense to send him because you have Gallo coming up, who's the strikeout king of the season.
Me and Tommy have talked this entire year
But I know that you're thinking of, like, in 2014 in the World Series. Well, like, why didn't they send Gordon? I'm like, well, he probably would have been out, and then that game would have been over right there.
Yeah.
That's still our fault. We lost.
Oh, my God.
I mean, Mad Bone's good, but, like, you can't go 2 batters and not score 1 out third. You can't do that.
It was one batter. They had 2 outs by then.
Yeah.
They had 2 outs by the time Salvi was up on the plate.
Whatever it was, you still could get him with that.
Either way, I mean, like, it was nice to see the Yankees lose and see that Kermit the Frog looking ass Garrett Cole get shelled after not even getting through the 3rd inning.
No, he got pulled in the 3rd. We're there 2-on, and he had just given up the Schwarbo bomb.
You mean a home run bat?
Yeah.
From, like, Smash Bros?
Yeah. I mean,
but either way, it's
back to the Joey Gallo, though. It does my heart good to see that people and teams will pay a great cost for a below-average bat, because that gives me hope that the Royals are going to get rid of Hunter Dozier.
Yeah. I mean, they do need to get rid of him.
Because right now, he's what's holding back the Royals lineup.
As much as I hate to say this, the Royals could try and see what they could get for Luke Voigt.
No.
Yeah, what do you mean, no?
No,
the Yankees are going to re-sign Rizzo.
True.
Luke Voigt's out of a job, so why not just call the Yankees and be like, hey, what you guys want for Voigt?
And he is a hometown kid.
I mean, plus, depending on if the Stars line, that could be our first base. That could solve our first base problem after Santana.
Or Nick Prado.
It's true.
Yeah. I would rather bring up what's in the system to be our first baseman than trying to go out and get another first baseman again.
It's true.
So.
Either way, it was the wild card game was just eh. Oh, by the way, here's a little tidbit. Matt Vasgersian's not doing Sunday Night Baseball anymore. That was his last game, apparently.
Yeah. Wow, really?
Yes, I didn't know that. He literally announced it, like the day after the wild card game.
What is he doing now then? Just
probably doing like hosting stuff for MLB Network and then Angels games.
Huh. All right then. Well, that sucks because I like Matt Vasgersian.
No, he's good. It's just I don't know. It's just something about it. It's just like eh. Like we literally flipped it over to ESPN2 on the wild card game Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something with him and A-Rod. I feel like the chemistry's not there.
No, it's not.
And I don't know. It could just be on A-Rod's part. It could just be my bias because I despise anyone who's ever donned the pinstripes.
Either way, I don't know. The Yankees lose, so that's a good thing.
Yankees lose. Good times.
Can you talk about the NL wildcard game?
The second greatest wildcard game in recent memory?
Yes, the second greatest.
Because everyone's like, oh, it's the greatest one. No, it's not.
The 2014 AL wildcard game will go down as the greatest wildcard game ever.
It had everything that you wanted. It had drama. It had excitement. People were crapping their pants. It had an electric crowd. It had a walk-off single.
I don't know. This one was different. This game, the NL wildcard game, was just...
This was a pitcher's duel, to say the least.
This NL was just too... The NL wildcard game was just two good bullpens going head-to-head.
Forget just the bullpens, two good starting pitchers.
Yeah.
Two guys that have Cy Young candidacy, like legitimate candidates for the Cy Young going up against each other.
Yeah.
It was Max Scherzer for the Dodgers versus Adam Wainwright of the Cardinals.
Max Scherzer only went 4 1/3. So.
Yeah, which was curious.
Wainwright went 5 1/3. Wainwright was just Adam Wainwright. He's been around the block for
years
now. There's nothing new to him.
I think he was part of the 2005 Cardinals World Series team, which means he has 2 World Series rings with the Cardinals.
How long is Adam Wainwright? Has he been there for that long?
I think so. He is 40.
Yeah.
I think him and Molina were part of that 2005 team, so.
It was just a back and forth affair for about 8 innings.
It was Aw.
Like St. Louis got one early.
So who hit the solo shot?
Justin Turner.
Okay. And then the Cardinals just scored on just small ball?
No, it was tied 1-1 for a bit.
I know, so how'd the Cardinals score?
It was just small ball. It was just
Okay.
it was a wild pitch actually.
Ah. Really? Scherzer threw a wild pitch?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then scored on that.
Well then.
Sounds like she is.
It's that was an amazing game, sitting there and watching it and then listening to it in the car.
Literally watching it was the greatest thing ever.
So, was it just me or did the crowd seem a little bit flat?
It's Dodger Stadium. They always seem flat.
Which, I mean, I don't like it that you're hosting a wild card game. Like Fenway was electric.
Oh, that was actually a really awesome thing to see.
The
Fenway
night
was
before.
alive Tuesday.
And then just from everyone there at that game. I mean, they would get loud occasionally, but it wasn't like Fenway where it was constant. Just you could feel a buzz in the air in that stadium just by watching it on television. I mean,
I don't know. I think certain Dodgers fans were like, it's kind of sucks. We have 106 wins and we're hosting a wild card game. Probably certain Dodgers fans thinking when it came to that. It's like, we won 106 games and we didn't even win our division.
yeah, well, you had a team in your division that won 107, so you should have beat them a few more
Remember
times.
that thing I showed you on Twitter where it's like the Dodgers had their second best second half of a season in I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
And they gained 0 games during that span.
Yeah.
They gained 0 games on the Giants that entire time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's unfortunate, but at the same time, you're taking on a team that arguably is probably one of the best ones that we've seen in the last few years.
See, here's the funny thing about the Giants. After 2020, I know it was a short season and all, but I didn't really expect them to be any good this year. Yeah, they might make. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, they might make some noise, but
Breaking news in the world of baseball right now.
they tie it.
No.
What happened?
The San Francisco Giants have left off pitcher Johnny Cueto from their roster.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Yeah.
That's like when the Red Sox let JD Martinez off their roster.
He has been omitted from the series against the Dodgers this week.
Why?
I am currently diving into that. It looks like I can't find a reason.
Okay. You guys don't know. So I don't know. That's weird. Did you hear that? Cueto's not on the NLDS roster for the Giants.
And Brandon Belt.
Well, Brandon Belt is out with that wrist injury.
Yeah, but neither one are on that roster.
Brandon Belt was out with injury, so yeah, I could see why he's off the roster. Cueto, though, that's kind of a weird one, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they feel good about going into the series against, the Dodgers. Tommy, how'd that game end in the wild card game?
Oh, you had a Chris Taylor walk-off 2-run shot.
The MLB Twitter account had a great tweet. I'll never...
Hell, Juan Soto was at that game, by the way, because he was cheering on his old teammate, Trey Turner.
And Max Scherzer.
He's like, wow, I didn't know home runs looked that fun from the stands. Which I'm like, that's awesome.
He's such a good guy. He's slowly becoming one of my favorite players in the league.
Yeah, he's really. 2019 really showed me is like how much fun he has.
But yeah, walk-off home run by the Dodgers, 2-run shot. Dodgers will play the Giants. It's a battle of two 100 plus win teams.
Can the MLB just strip the Giants of their NL West title and make this a 5-game set for the NL West? Can we just have that happen?
Why is that trending? Keep going.
Like, wouldn't that be fun to do that? I mean, it's too late already. Oh, we forgot to say, since Boston won, they are playing Tampa right now. As of this recording, they are down a game in the series to Tampa. They lost Thursday. They got blanked 5-0 Thursday by Tampa. So, Brock, who do you have winning between the Giants and Dodgers? I really don't know.
I got the Giants.
You got the Giants?
Yep.
Screw it, I got the Giants too.
Can
we talk about...
I don't feel as if the pitching for the Dodgers is really going to be what it is without... well, they don't have Duffy, who they traded for, so the Royals got a free player for nothing, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they don't have Clayton, and they don't have Kershaw either.
I don't know. I say the Dodgers. I say Giants probably.
I feel more confident about the Giants than I do the Dodgers. Plus, I want to see that chaos happen when the Dodgers get eliminated.
Yeah.
And the only time that they won a World Series is when it was the Mickey Mouse World Series.
They were in Texas. That wasn't a Mickey Mouse one.
You know what I mean.
I know what you meant, but still.
There wasn't a home field advantage for the Rays in any of those games.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, technically, there are a lot of... when I went to Dallas the last time, I did see a lot of, Dodgers stuff in there.
Yeah. I mean... I don't know. But I definitely have that. Other weird stats that we got from this past week, thanks to one of the ALDS games last night, was a interesting graphic posted during the FS1 broadcast of the Rays and Red Sox.
I know what you're talking about.
So the Rays and Red Sox are going right now. Tampa Bay currently leads the series 1-0 as of recording. They won last night. They blanked the Red Sox 6-0. Tell me any thoughts on that game last night?
No, it was 5-0. And plus,
5-0.
Tropicana is the greatest thing. Tropicana Field is sometimes, as much hate as it gets, it's always an interesting ballpark to play in because the Trop is going to Trop sometimes.
It is the ugliest ballpark in the
MLB. It might be the ugliest ballpark, but it is sometimes the most interesting one when they call home runs with the catwalks.
Yep. But anyway, very interesting graphic was brought up, Tommy, last night.
Oh, I have it up right now.
I have it as well.
Absolutely laughing right now.
I have it as well. They posted, since both the Rays and the Red Sox are in the NL East, they brought up days in first place this season. Tampa Bay had 98. Boston had 85. I forgot Toronto had 4. That was a weird stretch there.
Yeah, there's that weird period where Toronto had 4 games in first place. And actually, no. What's more interesting is Baltimore had 8 games in first place. What do you mean?
I said 4. Yeah, no. And then
Baltimore had 8 games.
No, I said Toronto.
Place.
I had Toronto. I said Toronto in 4 with 4 games. And then the one that killed all the Yankees fans and triggered so many people on Twitter with it. New York Yankees 1 day in first place. Baltimore Orioles 8 days in first place. Tommy, what was Baltimore's record at the end of the year?
Very bad. Enough for them to lose 100 and something games.
They have the first overall pick.
I'm pretty sure, I told you, is that they were they're technically tied with the Diamondbacks for the worst record in the majors.
Yeah, and they spent more days in first place than the New York Yankees.
That's just
Love it.
that's so weird. Yet so that's sad and hilarious. That's like all kinds of emotions.
It only brings me joy to see that. Because
that does bring
Yankees fans on Twitter.
As much as I hate to quote Thanos, this does bring a smile on my face.
Yankees fans on Twitter went crazy on that graphic.
But it was.
And it was a typical 27 rings. 27 rings.
Well, it's sad to know that the Royals have won a ring.
That's the other crazy stat that came out after that.
From 2010 to 2020, the Royals have
2012.
From 2012 to 2020, the Royals have more World Series appearances and more World Series championships than the New York Yankees.
That wasn't the full stat. From 2012 to 2021, Royals 22 playoff wins, 2 pennants, 1 World Series title. New York Yankees 21 playoff wins, no AL pennants, no World Series titles. The Royals have won more playoff games in 2 years than the Yankees have from 2012 to 2021.
That was the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, wow, that's something.
Tommy, I saw that and I continued the special project that we are currently still working on.
Indeed, we are.
And I think I may start recording some parts here shortly.
Okay.
So, at least the first part. So, big things happening there. But, Tommy, also the White Sox and Astros are happening currently. The Astros are about to win this series, aren't they?
God, I really wanted Chicago to win this series. But it's nice to know that Game 3, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa are going to get they're going to get their butts booed out of the stadium.
Yeah, they will. And it's going to be great.
They're going to feel the wrath of a completely sold-out stadium on the south side of Chicago.
They're going to feel the wrath of what they should have felt the last few years, but dodged it because of COVID.
Yes, exactly.
Because, man.
Damn, it's going to be so good. As much as I hate that they're probably going to sweep this series, it's just going to be good to see them get the booze they deserve in a full packed stadium of fans just booing them unrelentingly.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be glorious. The other series that we haven't mentioned, so as of recording, we have 4 games today.
There's a game going on right now as we're recording. It's White Sox Astros.
We also mentioned the Dodgers Giants series. Also, we mentioned the Tampa Boston series. The one that we haven't mentioned, Tommy, this might be my favorite series that we have going on.
This is the one I'd be like, can we just make an exception to the 5 games and make this one a 7-game series?
Screw that! I want this to be a 13-game series. I want this to be
old school.
I want this to be an entire season between these 2 teams. The teams in question are the Milwaukee Brewers and the Atlanta Braves.
Even though Atlanta has 88 wins this season, they could have had more. As much as I hate to say this, it's like Atlanta should have more wins this season. I mean, it really sucked that Acuna went out with that ACL injury.
Also, Ozuna went down. They were without 2 of their biggest stars, and they still won the East.
They still won the East. Then again, it was the East. It was the baseball turn. It was baseball's turn to have a dumpster fire of a division. As much as
in the East.
In the East as well, too. Yeah.
But
dude, I don't really know. I really don't.
I can't wait for this series, dude.
God, I cannot. This one's gonna be so good.
I don't. My only issue is I wish this was the NLCS.
That's the thing. I 1,000% agree with you.
I wish this was the NLCS and we didn't have to have either the Giants or Dodgers come out and play in the NLCS.
It's like we really have to watch this as an NLDS divisional series. We're only getting 5 games.
Oh, dude, this is such a good. Oh, I can't wait for this series, man.
This is the best series. This is the best series in the divisional series. Out of all of them, this is the best one.
Oh, easily. And this is the only series out of all of them where I don't have an issue with either of the teams in it. Like, I don't have some sort of resentment.
I don't have
towards
either
them.
issue with these teams. These teams are so good. These teams both are good.
Like, of course, me and you have resentment towards the Astros. Me and you both have resentment towards the Red Sox. I still don't like the Giants for what they did, and I don't like that the Dodgers are just basically the new Yankees.
Yeah.
So, which pretty much leaves that I like Tampa, I like Chicago, I like the Brewers, and I like Atlanta. That's it.
Yeah, Tampa's in that limbo where it's like, I really don't hate them and I really don't like them. They're just
I like Tampa because they're nice. They're a scrappy underdog, you know.
Tampa Bay is in that gray area where it's like, I don't like them, and then I kind of like them, and then like, eh.
Would you like them better if they had a better stadium?
Absolutely, yes.
Would you like them better if they became the Montreal Expos?
Yes.
There you go. That's all it'll take.
That's all it'll take. That's all it'll take.
You know what would really improve them for me, and how they'd probably become my number 2 behind, or in front of the Reds.
Who's that?
If they were to change back to the Devil Rays.
Yes, please. That was the coolest name ever.
It was such a good name, and we got robbed of it. Oh well. Anyway, Tommy, let's pick who we think are going to be in the NL and ALCS. You go first in the AL.
Well, for ALCS, this is no surprise. I have Tampa and Houston.
I have to agree with you on that one. As much as I would love to see Tampa, Chicago.
Watching Game 1 of the Chicago-Houston series, it really showed you the frail pedestal Chicago was on during the season. And by frail pedestal, I mean the AL Central Division.
Yeah, which when you look at the record of all the teams in the AL Central, they were all right there next to each other, and Chicago was just
like what the Royals were in 2015, where it's just
no, because in 2015 the Royals were still battling with the Indians. The Indians still ended above 500 that year.
I thought it was the Twins.
Was it the Twins? I don't remember. Whoever was behind the Royals, they were still above 500 that year. And
it was one of the teams in the division that was just a complete thorn in their side the entire year.
And in 14, we didn't win the division. The Tigers did.
No, the Tigers did. And
so it's pretty much
into the Orioles in the DS.
I wouldn't even say since 16, because the Royals still, I don't remember if they were above 500 or at 500 in 16 when Cleveland won. But since 17, it's felt like
it's like whatever team makes it to the end of, like, whoever AL Central division winner goes to the postseason, it shows you the cracks in their armor, with how they were held up by a very frail pedestal.
Yeah, because I don't know what it. Now I have been given hope because of the Tigers' improvement and even the Royals' improvement this year.
The Royals, they have some ways to go before it's like, yeah, they're back.
And it's on the pitching end. That's the thing.
It's on the pitching end, and there are certain positions where it's like, yeah, these guys are next.
And Carlos Santana.
I said certain position players.
Yeah, those two. Those are the two.
And then I feel like it's like, okay, get the out, and then like, yeah, we can be up there we can contend again with the big boys.
We can fight for a wild card spot.
Exactly.
And honestly, that might just be, bringing up Bobby Witt Jr. and plugging him in at second, moving Witt to outfield. That way, Dozier's not an everyday starter. Like,
well, it's that now it's like with the rise of Nicky Lopez, seeing that he's the first Royal in a while to finish with a batting average of 300, the first shortstop in Royals history, if I'm not mistaken, to qualify for that.
which, I mean, that's not really saying much.
Which is exactly, it's not saying much, but like I feel like as much as we wanted to hate on him at the beginning of the season, he really kind of found his groove during the middle of the season and just wrote it.
I had hope for Nicky Lopez going into this year, and
I really is for me.
A lot of Royals fans didn't.
Okay, he might have been okay last season, but it's like, can he really sustain it for 162 games?
The answer is yes.
And the answer, at the start of the season, it was looking like to be a no. But then when it got to the middle of the season, it was like, yeah, maybe he actually can.
I'd say about May is when it turned. Like mid to late May.
Around the end of May, start of June is when it was like, yeah, he can kind of sustain it.
I think that's when everyone went, whoa, okay.
The thing is now that he has a full 162 games under his belt, can he do it again? Can he sustain that level of work like he did this past season?
Yeah, because the Royals haven't had a shortstop who's been both A, really good at defense, and B, a solid bat in our lifetime.
Escobar was a good defensive shortstop.
No, like I said, at the same time,
he was an okay hitter. It was during the postseason where it was like, yeah, Escobar's pretty good.
Yeah, he had when he needed to step up in the clutch moments, he did. It's just, as we saw when it's really bad times, Esky kind of didn't show up.
Yeah, he kind of showed. I mean, like he always batted leadoff. In 15, it's like when he had a leadoff hit, it was like, yeah, I've got this in the fucking bag. Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. But and with Nicky, I feel a lot better. The other position is obviously shortstop or second base because beyond Witt was the last good second baseman the Royals had.
With both Witts.
Yeah, Bobby Witt and Whit Merrifield.
You can rotate them. Like, you can have them where we're like, okay, we'll have them at second we'll have, like, Bobby at second for, like, a couple of games. Witt can be in the outfield. And then we can have Bobby in the outfield and then Witt. And then we can see we're both there.
I don't know if I'd put Bobby in the outfield.
If I'm being honest, they might be doing that during spring training to see how it works out.
Well, they did try Prado out in right field, and he did pretty well.
Yeah.
But I think with the we'll call it the emergence of Kyle Isbell
thing where he was a not really good third baseman, where he had the weight of being the next George Brett, which was like, whoa,
that was
and then
too
it's
much.
Like, we just put you in the outfield, and then the rest is history.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like first base, I mean, beyond Hosmer, who are you really going to compare at first base to?
No one. There's no one really.
I mean, Hosmer isn't even like a, like.
What he did made him a Royals favorite.
But I wouldn't call him a Royals legend.
Travis Kelce.
I wouldn't call him a Royals legend, though. Like, I would say easily Gordo is.
Sure, I have his ball. I'm looking at the bobblehead when he basically did that mad dash to home to tie it in Game 5.
Okay, if we're doing it with that, then I'd say Carlos Colon is a Royals legend then.
Well, they're both.
He was the one who scored the winning run in 14 wild card, and then he got the winning RBI in the 15 World Series.
Yeah.
So therefore, I think Carlos Colon would then qualify, but because I'm not going to say Carlos Colon is a Royals legend, I can't put Hosmer there. I would put Moose there, but that's because Moose was here longer than Hosmer was.
Either way, but like when it's all said and done, they're still beloved here in the city.
Yes. Although has Hosmer came back since leaving
Well,
us?
he is technically coming back when San Diego comes next season.
I will be intrigued to see the reaction to that, given how he left.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Royals couldn't really,
The Royals gave him a good contract, a pretty sizable contract. They presented it to him, but
if he did actually sign that, they would have had to mortgage the house. In metaphorically speaking, they would have to mortgage the house in order to keep him here.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like obviously Moose leaving, that one wasn't on him. Same thing with Kane.
Moustakis' one was different because
We traded him.
No.
Yeah.
When he after 16, he tried the market and there was just nothing there.
Yep.
There was just nothing there for third base for him.
And then he came back. It wasn't the year he came back, or was it 16 that he broke the Royals record for home runs?
I think it was
Was it 16 or 17?
It was 17.
Okay, and then Soler did in 18?
I believe Soler did in
Or
18.
19?
I don't remember what year he did it.
Okay. Point being, because Moustakas held that home run record, and because fans love chanting Moose, he has more of a connection to the city, I feel like, than Hosmer did.
If he decides to come back here, they will welcome him with open arms.
Well, you weren't there the game against that first game against the Reds. They did the video package. He had a standing ovation. You got a standing ovation from everyone there. That's the thing with Hosmer, because I don't know. Because
Kane got a standing O when Lorenzo Kane got a standing O when he was there.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember. I don't think the Royals offered him a contract, really.
Oh, I gotta sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you, sir.
But I don't think they really offered Kane a contract.
They really couldn't, because I think that year he left, there was just such a competitive market for outfielders, especially in center field.
So, and that's why, Royals fans don't hold any ill will towards him. Unlike Hosmer, where I feel like there are several people I know that just don't like him anymore.
It's just, I think he just asked for it's not him, it's his agent. It's Scott Boras.
I feel like it's also him.
It's more, to me, I feel like it's more of his agent than it is him.
It could be. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I feel like
because you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I will be intrigued to see what the reaction will be when he comes back. Royals fans are usually pretty forgiving, thankfully, unless your name is Johnny Damon. Unless your name is Johnny Damon, in which case, no.
That's completely different.
But I mean, Beltran came back, he got cheered, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It'll be interesting with Hosmer.
I think you're diving into this too much.
Could be. So here's a question for you.
You're overthinking it.
Duffy's contract's up this year. Do you think he re-signs with the Royals?
Maybe.
And take less, because I could see him doing a Gordo-like deal at the end, like Gordo's last contract that he got.
That 4-year one, the one where everyone was like, well, is he going to stay or is he going to go?
That one. I could see Duffy doing something similar to that. But maybe for less amount of time, like maybe like a 2-year deal. I could see him doing that. And then the Royals just have him come out of the bullpen or something.
I don't know, but I feel like for the future they need a good veteran presence in the rotation, and that would be the guy.
Yeah, it's definitely not Mike Minor.
As much, yeah, I agree with you. It can't be Mike Minor.
It can't be Mike Minor. And I mean, I don't know what pitchers' contracts are expiring this year, but
Yeah, me neither.
Beyond Duffy. I know Duffy's, but that's it, because he's
Wouldn't
Danny
surprise me
Duffy.
if they try to give him a 1 year or like a 2 year with the option.
I could totally see the 1 year. Here, I'm going to look up. You keep talking. I'm going to look up to see what pitchers' contracts are coming up.
I don't know. But seriously, though, back to that thing, back to the Yankees, it wouldn't surprise me if the Royals give the Yankees a call and see what the Yankees want for Luke Voigt.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll be back.
What years? Can I sort by the years? Oh, okay. Oh.
Whose contracts are up?
So, there are several. Do you want the ones that I think the ones that are likely the Royals could get, or just the big names?
I'm sorry, how many?
Hang on. I got it. There's a lot. There is a lot.
Do the more notable ones. Because, I don't want you going through them, because we still have some other things we have to talk about, by the way.
Stroman's contract's up this year. Wainwright, Drew Smyly, Rosenthal, Kluber, Hand, Richards, Syndergaard, Davies, Paxton, Bundy, Wainwright again for some reason, Happ, Ray, Diaz, Heaney, Hader, Boyd.
I really don't think they...
I don't know. For whatever reason, that's not...
I'm thinking of a Moneyball standpoint where it's I don't think they could afford it.
Here, I'm looking up as of 2022. Greinke's contract is up this year. Scherzer, Kershaw, Jansen, Verlander.
Yeah, all those guys are staying in. All those guys are going to get signed by the big name teams. Kershaw is probably going to stay.
Kluber.
Kershaw is probably going to be a Dodger for life, basically.
Chris Archer's contract's up this year.
Tampa Bay basically made him. Pittsburgh made him fool's gold. Tampa Bay made him fool's gold. Made him look like fool's gold and just,
Daniel Norris's contract's up this
he
year.
looks nice. And then look what happens.
Daniel Norris's contract's up this year.
I don't know.
Oh, thank God, Hollins is up this year.
This offseason is going to be interesting, not just from a free agent standpoint. Brock, I forgot to mention, pretty much after the postseason is over, the collective bargaining agreement is set to expire on December the 1st.
Did you know that Ian Kennedy's still pitching?
Yes, I knew that.
Do you know who he's pitching for?
Texas, if I'm not mistaken?
No, he's now a Philly.
Oh, that's right. But no, did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, CBA's up this year. Oh, crap, Wade Davis' contract's up this year.
Which we are, depending on what happens, we are in for a wild ride.
White Sox just tied it up.
Oh, thank God.
And they got a man on third.
But did you hear what I said? It's
yeah, I heard you.
It's going to be a very tumultuous and very long collective bargaining agreement.
It's going to be very interesting.
Worst case scenario is they get something done. Best case scenario is they actually kind of, agree and get something done. Worst case scenario is we might not have baseball for a while.
Yeah, and that's the one I'm worried about the most.
And that's kind of looming. That looks like it's about. That might be what it's going to happen.
I am really worried about that.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's a very worrying thought. All right. On a lighter note, let's talk about some football, because that's also
question
happening.
For you, as I'm looking through the starting pitchers whose contracts are up this year. There's one name on here that I am almost certain will not be picked up by their original team, meaning the Royals will have a shot at him.
Yeah.
Justin Verlander.
Mm-mm.
36.
No.
Because I'm looking at it, otherwise, because, like Drew Smiley's on here, Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton.
Charlie Morton might be the best.
No,
actually,
I found the one that'll.
I'm not a free agent, MLB free agent expert here. I'm not Jeff Passan to predict, this person is going to go here and then there.
James Paxton's contract is up this year.
Is he with Seattle or is he still with New York?
He's with Seattle.
Oh, he went back to Seattle?
He signed a 1-year contract.
Oh.
Dylan Bundy's contract's up this year.
I don't know. I'll just wait for this winter and find out.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at some of these names, dude. They're out there.
Brock, you have to remember, the Royals aren't in, as much as I hate, they're not in a really big market.
No, I know. That's why I'm looking at some of these lower names.
I know I sound like Billy Bean from Moneyball, but I'm just saying, it's like we can't compete with them.
We could compete for Shelby Miller.
That wouldn't be better. But either way,
what did he do this year? I gotta look at him and see what his stat line was.
I don't know. Brock, you know what else is over? I'm gonna sound like a beer. I'm gonna reply to a beer tweet.
Oh God, go ahead.
I'll see.
Yep.
Because even though we've been talking about baseball, it's like football's also happening.
Oh my Lord.
It's not good.
9.24 ERA.
Okay, you know what? No.
I'm gonna keep looking at these low-level guys because they're the contracts are like a few hundred. Scott Kazmir. He's 37. You think the Rose would have a shot at him?
I don't know.
I feel like they might. Anyway, yes, we had Thursday night football last night. The Rams were at Seattle, and Seattle was wearing some horrific jerseys, Tommy.
Oh my God, they were wearing. Oh, I forgot. They were wearing those ugly highlighter green ones, like those, ugh.
It was horribly disgusting.
So disgusting. You know what else is talking about disgusting? Did you see the replay of Russell Wilson's finger injury?
Yes, I did. That was ugh.
I don't know what Seattle's deal is with quarterbacks having finger injuries. They're like Drew Brees, finger injury, or in the West Coast area, it's like when Drew Brees went out with a finger injury again, he had a finger injury. If I'm not mistaken, against the Rams when they were in LA.
Could be.
No, he did because they went to Seattle and then Teddy just straight up beat Seattle and then they went 5-0. Up to that point. Either way, it was a pretty decent game.
Oh, it was good if you were, me and you had Matthew Stafford as your quarterback.
Did you start DK Metcalf by any chance?
I did not. He did not do well.
I thought he had a touchdown. What do you mean?
Oh, never mind. Yeah, should have started him.
Yeah, he had a touchdown last night.
He had 2 tutties.
Yeah, he had 2.
The last time I saw, he only had 5 points, and I'm like, okay, I did the right decision. But no, should have started him. Oh well.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, I do have a fantasy team. This is the lineup that I went with this week. I started Stafford at quarterback. I have Fournette starting at running back, Jonathan Taylor starting at running back, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore. I'm debating if TJ Hawkinson will start because he is still questionable. I might switch him out with Ertz. And then I have
I feel like Zach Ertz would be a safer bet.
He is going against Carolina, though.
As much as I hate to say it, as much as he's going up against Carolina.
I just did the switch. So Zach Ertz now my starting tight end. My starting wide receiver, or my flex, is DeAndre.
Did you at least start Keenan Allen this week, too?
No, he's going up against Cleveland.
Really?
Yeah.
You know he's going up against Cleveland?
is going up against Cleveland. They've given up the 6th fewest fantasy points.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? Yeah.
So DeAndre Hopkins gets the nod. My kicker is Matthew Prater because Butker's going up against Buffalo, and then I have no choice of my defense, so I had to start the Niners, which I am going to get murdered.
I don't like that.
I know, I don't either. But,
like that.
well, I might just drop them right now and see what other
Actually,
option.
you might wait. Hold on, wait on that for a second.
I'm gonna look to see what defenses are available currently. You talk about the Thursday night game tomorrow. Oh yeah, they just took the lead. White Sox take the lead.
Okay, good. No, I want to hear what other team defenses are available.
Buffalo, Arizona, Denver, New Orleans, Chicago, Tampa, New England, both LA teams, Carolina, Cincinnati, Minnesota, Miami, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Philly, both New Yorks, Vegas, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Houston, Washington, Detroit, Tennessee.
Can you go through that list again, but slowly, please?
Buffalo, Arizona,
Okay.
Denver,
Okay.
Nolans,
Okay.
Da Bears,
Okay.
the Bucks,
Okay.
the Evil Empire,
Say Patriots.
Evil Empire, Chargers,
Okay.
Panthers, Rams,
Okay.
Bengals,
Okay.
Vikings, Dolphins.
Wait, I thought you had Arizona's defense. What happened to that?
I don't have Arizona's defense.
I thought you did.
No, I have San Francisco's.
The person that worked it was. I told him to pick up Arizona's defense.
The Steelers, Seattle.
I don't know, man. I got nothing for you.
I'm thinking Buffalo.
As much as I hate that they're playing the Chiefs this week, I'd say yes.
Just going forward.
I wouldn't say maybe.
Over San Francisco? Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Actually, yeah, I take that back. Yes. Also, there is a coworker has their own fantasy league. Derek Carr was available on the waiver wire.
Oh, Tommy. Like, hang on. You want to see who's available quarterback-wise?
Who's available quarterback-wise?
Remember, this is the league that I'm in, that we haven't changed our quarterbacks unless, your guy retires. Here are the current quarterbacks available. Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, Taylor Heineke, Matt Ryan, Joe Burrow, Teddy Bridgewater, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, Ben Roethlisberger, Trevor Lawrence, Jacoby Brissett, Zach Wilson, Tyrod Taylor, Trey Lance.
You might as well piss people off and pick up Kyler Murray.
I can't.
People pick up Kyler Murray.
Who the hell am I going to drop on my quarterbacks? No. Tannehill sometimes. Tannehill still scored 39 points last week. I'm not getting rid of Stafford or Tannehill. No.
Pick a number between 1 and 2.
No. I'm sticking. I did my. Let's go 4-1, 4-2 now for the White Sox.
Good.
Kansas City's giving up the third fewest fantasy points to a defense. Fuck.
If you're gonna pick a quarterback, you gotta get rid of someone, and I know it's gonna be the hardest decision in your life for now.
Yeah. Stafford did really well too.
Yeah, even though he almost broke his finger, but he popped it back in place.
Yeah. Tannehill's doing really well this year too. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
Anything in the NCAA really happen? Notre Dame got exposed as a fraud.
Yeah, Notre Dame lost at home.
You might want to try that one again, bud.
Notre Dame lost to the Cincinnati Bearcats.
There you go. You were very muffled and robotic and. Yeah.
Cincinnati might be that team this year.
I told you that they would. I told you this at the beginning of the year.
If they win out the rest of the season, they're going to be that fourth team. If they're 5, then there's something wrong.
They can't be 5 after this week. They can't.
When do the CFP rankings start?
Shortly. I couldn't tell you the exact time off the top of my head.
They can kind of do it during they kind of do it around the start of November, kind of when the championship classic is for NCAA basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They always do the first one there, I feel like.
So I told you to watch out for Cincinnati. I also told you to watch out for BYU. BYU this week has Boise State at home. Tommy, guess who they play next week?
Who do they play next week? Well, hold on. Don't tell me. I'm looking right now.
Oh,
my God.
Yep.
They're at Baylor?
Yep. Tommy, I told you to watch out for BYU as well. If BYU beats Baylor after beating Boise State, they're already in the top 10. You might be looking at possibly a 7, maybe 6, possibly 5 ranking for the Cougars. Plus, they still have to go play USC this year.
It depends on what happens in the 3 o'clock game on Fox.
Yeah. They still have to. They end their year at USC. So after Baylor, they go to Washington State. They have UVA at home. They play their FCS opponent. They are then at Georgia Southern, and then they're at USC.
Can we also talk about how bad Arkansas looked against a completely better team in Georgia?
It was embarrassing.
It wasn't even close.
Tommy?
Plus, you gotta be a little crazy to be right sometimes.
Tommy? I'm looking at Cincinnati's schedule.
Oh, they are
Circle.
knocking on wood right now. They can win out the rest of the season.
Circle November 20th. Right now. Circle it right now.
Are they off this week? Is there why I don't see them on the top 25?
No, they play tonight.
On the 20th?
Yeah, November 20th. November 20th, circle it. Right now.
Interesting.
They play SMU. I told you the one team that could catch them is SMU. We are going to have a game of the ages in the American Conference yet again. Because the next hardest team that SMU plays, beyond Cincinnati, till then, take a guess.
Oh, I don't know who.
Houston.
Really?
Yeah. They're 5-1. Houston's 5-1 right now. This is SMU's remaining schedule before Cincinnati. They are at Navy this week. They play at home against Tulane. They are then at Houston. Then they are at Memphis. Memphis is having a down year. Tommy, there is a great shot that we could have a top. Well, right now it's a top 25 matchup. We could have a top 15 matchup by November 20th between.
Don't drink that Kool-Aid right now.
No, but we could have a top 15 matchup between SMU and Cincinnati on November 20th. Oh, and by the way, they would then play each other in the conference championship again in the American Conference. So the group of 5 teams right now are looking really good.
I like
you got Cincinnati. You got Cincinnati firing on all cylinders.
SMU sometimes, certain teams like an SMU could lose a game that they have no right in losing.
They could, but at the same time, I think they escaped that one this year already.
As much as you hate me to hear, as much as you hate hearing that, they might drop a game that they shouldn't.
I know, but Group of fives are looking real good right now. You got Coastal Carolina sitting at 15. They're still undefeated. You got Cincinnati at number 5. You got BYU sitting at number 10, and then you got SMU at number 24 right now.
Okay, I don't think Coastal Carolina will have a shot because who have they beaten of note? Kansas?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't consider Kansas a Power 5 team, so.
Exactly.
But so, I'm pulling up their schedule right now.
Your Power 5 team.
Yeah, that's their only Power 5 team that they've played. They have Appalachian State this week, though, or this next week, though.
I don't know. The best bet for a Group of 5 team to make the playoff will be Cincinnati this year.
Cincinnati or BYU?
I would say Cincinnati. I'd pretty heavily say Cincinnati would be the safer pick.
Don't count out BYU because they're at 10, and they still have to play 3 more Power 5 teams. They pretty much play a Power 5 team team schedule this year.
Okay.
Because I think when it's all said and done, they will have played 5 Pac-12 schools and a Big 10 or a Big 12 school. So that's 6 out of their games that they've played that are. Well, heck, I'm about to pull it up. Hang on. I'll have their schedule pulled up here in a second again, so we can go over it. Because I really think everyone needs to start paying attention to BYU. They've beaten Arizona, they've beaten Utah, they've beaten Arizona State. They got Boise State this week, which could easily be a Power 5 team right now. They're at Baylor, they're at Washington State, they are at home against Virginia, and then they're at USC.
As much as I hate to say it, no one's going to really talk about them a lot. They'll talk about them. They're not going to talk too much of Cincinnati because did they go to Notre Dame and did BYU go into Notre Dame and straight up beat them?
No, because Notre Dame's scared to play BYU.
There you go. I rest my case.
Actually, I think they do play each other here soon, and it's going to be at in Vegas. So they have the Mormons and the Catholics in Sin City.
Oh, okay.
That's a joke that's been going around.
Either way, I don't know. But this week we have a very interesting week.
You ready for pick'ems, Tommy?
Yes. Can we talk about Penn State? Can we talk about game day doing the dumbest decision and not going to Penn State, Iowa?
Well, me and you have talked off air as to why they would do this.
It doesn't matter. They do Michigan, Ohio State, and that game's on at 11 o'clock on Fox.
I know, but it's because it's a rivalry game. It's because it has broad appeal.
It's the Texas. I forget it's the Texas State Fair this weekend too. So
yeah, but anyway, let's go ahead and say, get it off your chest, yell it from the rooftops why you're upset that game day chose to go where they are.
Because it's just Oklahoma and Texas. They play every year. So what? Go to a game that actually matters. Penn State and Iowa are ranked 3 and 4 respectively right now.
This is a playoff game. Literally a playoff game.
This game is literally going to. This game is, and you might have to agree on this. This game decides who will represent the Big Ten in the playoff, probably. Probably.
I don't know. Penn State has to beat Ohio State again, or has to beat Ohio State still.
Oh, that's right. They still have to play this year.
Yeah.
Well,
because as soon as that happens, Ohio State is gone. By the way, speaking of teams that have 2 losses, if Ohio State was to lose again, Clemson is no longer ranked.
Oh, yeah, Clemson is now unranked and not even going to sniff a playoff berth.
Oh, hell no.
Let alone a very decent bowl game.
They might find a decent bowl game, but not if they lose again. Then they'll have 3 losses.
Yeah, no.
Then they'll be playing, I don't know, the Music City Bowl or the Belk Bowl or something.
Yeah, exactly.
There is a strong chance that they could be playing in the Music City Bowl against Kentucky.
They could.
Do you know how badly that would hurt Clemson fans? The fact that they'd have to play in the Music City Bowl against Kentucky.
Oh, from a recruiting standpoint, it's not going to look good.
Well, you made it to a bowl game last year. Yeah, you got blown out by Kentucky. Anyway.
Iowa still has to play Wisconsin.
I'm not. I mean,
but I'm like,
I'm not worried about them playing Wisconsin.
I don't know. I don't want to, jinx it too early, but this could be, depending on what happens with Penn State, could be a Big Ten championship game preview.
Yeah. I honestly think, and you're probably right, this is who makes it into the Big Ten. Well,
depending on what happens with the game against Penn State and Ohio State, one of those three is your Big Ten representative for the playoff.
Yeah, but
see, here's the thing.
I really hope it's not Ohio State.
See, here's the thing, though. If Ohio State wins, the Big Ten will be on the outside looking in.
No, because they'll still have Iowa.
Right. I guess it would have.
You're telling me that right now, if Penn State, loses to Iowa, let's just say, because
if Penn State loses to Iowa,
is it at Kinnick Stadium?
Ended today.
Is it at Kinnick Stadium?
The game is at Kinnick, yes.
Okay, so it's very likely Penn State will lose. Let's just say Iowa blows the doors off of Penn State. Let's just say it's like a 21-point victory in favor of the Hawkeyes. And then Penn State and Ohio State play, and it's like a 2-point game, and Ohio State comes out with the victory. Isn't it at the Horseshoe?
I believe. Yeah, because they used their whiteout game against Auburn.
Yeah. So, say Ohio State wins by 2. That's pretty much just going to show you that Iowa's going to beat the crap out of Ohio State.
Here's another kicker, too, is that Penn State still has to play Michigan this year.
That's true. Ohio State still has to play Michigan, too. Michigan's looking good.
So, they're still going to lose to Ohio State no matter what.
Again, I don't know why, but I have a feeling right now with Ohio State. There is something not right now in Ohio State, down there, up there in Columbus.
Their linebackers just straight up said, "Peace out."
And I think that's more of something's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think there's something happening in Ohio State, up in Columbus right now, that it's not getting like the media doesn't want to report it because they don't want to be like, oh, Ohio State's in trouble, because they love up there in Ohio, that's all that they have. You're not going to be a Brown. What? Are you going to be a Browns fan or a Bengals fan? Granted, both teams are 3-1 right now, but I don't know. I feel like this is Ohio State, like obviously with Clemson falling this year that we saw. I feel like there's something.
Clemson losing that game against NC State opened the door for a Power 5 team.
And
group of 5 teams, sorry.
I think if Ohio State loses, if they lose both against Penn State and Michigan, that'll be 3 losses on the year for them. I don't think they'll be ranked.
For who?
Ohio State. Plus, I think they still have to play Michigan State, too. Well, Michigan State's ranked.
But Michigan,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's 3 top 15 teams that Ohio State still has to play this year. They're getting caught by one of them, and therefore they're going to be eliminated from the playoff. There's a very strong possibility that there's no Clemson, there's no Ohio State, which means we get Bama, and actually pretty much just the winner of the SEC championship game.
How many losses does Oregon have?
1.
For Oregon to make the playoff, they have to win out.
Yeah, and that's...
They have to. They have to win out. They cannot falter anywhere throughout the season. If they lose, they're done.
I don't know who's leading right now in the South. I think it's Arizona State. So we could have Arizona State versus Oregon in that championship game, I would put my money on Arizona State, just because I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Who does Oregon play this week?
I think they're off this week.
They're off this week?
Yeah, they're off this week.
All right.
Their next game they play is Friday on the 15th against Cal. That game's the Pac-12 after dark game. 9:30.
I don't know, man. Who they got the week after? I'm looking that up right now. You keep going. Keep talking.
Who does Oregon have that week after?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Keep going.
So Oregon, after the game against Cal on the 15th, they play on the 23rd in the Rose Bowl against UCLA.
Okay, so I think they might get caught in that one.
Then after that game, they're at home against Colorado. On the road against UW, University of Washington. Then they have Wazoo at home. On the road at Utah, and then they finish the season at home against Oregon State.
Tommy, I'm not liking their shot either.
That's why I said it is critical for them to not falter in any of these games.
I'm really not liking that, especially the fact that, they have to go to UCLA, to Washington, and to Utah. I don't like that.
So I said if the Pac-12 wants a team in the playoff this year, Oregon has to win out. Has to. It is critical for them.
I don't like their shot. God. So we're doing some really interesting, mental mind games right now. Whatever. Tommy, in your opinion, if Oregon loses one more game, whether it's UCLA, UW, Utah, or getting caught by Colorado or someone at home, even Cal, I could see them losing to Cal, honestly.
They're done. Even if they're a two-loss Pac-12 champion, they're done.
Who would the fourth team be?
Oh, let's see. Alabama will be one.
Iowa 2 if Iowa wins?
I would say Iowa. If Iowa wins out the rest of the season, yes.
So let me do it this way. Hang on. So I have the rankings pulled up currently. I'm looking at it. There are in the top. I'm just going to go ahead and oh gosh, okay. Oklahoma State's 12th ranked right now. So in the top 12, 2 teams have 1 loss currently.
Mm-hmm.
And those are Oregon and Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in this top 12 still has to play someone that's on that top 12.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And I'm saying that because I'm just assuming that Bama and Georgia are playing each other in the SEC championship game. I'm just saying
that's not even a thought. That's a spoiler.
So except for Cincinnati is the only one, and BYU are the only ones that don't play anyone left on this top 12. They're the only 2.
Here's the thing with Cincinnati. They're probably, if they run the table and win out the rest of the season,
they're in. So here's the question I pose to you. You want me to give you the top 12?
But, I'll just put a but there. If Oregon wins out, the Cincinnati's chances of the playoff spot are in massive danger.
So here are the top 12. I'm going to go 12-1. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 12 is Oklahoma State. They are undefeated right now. They have Bedlam at the end of the year against number 6 Oklahoma. Michigan State is number 11. They still have to play Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State. BYU, as we said, doesn't play anyone left on the schedule. Michigan has to play Michigan State, Ohio State, and Penn State. Oregon, we've been over their schedule. Ohio State has to play Michigan State, Michigan, and Penn State. Oklahoma has to play Oklahoma State.
They also have to play Indiana. They won't.
Ohio State?
I feel like they could trip up on that game, by the way.
Yeah. Oklahoma has to, as we said, they're playing Texas this week. I think Texas might catch them. And then Oklahoma State at the end of the year. Penn State, we've been over who they have to play. They have to play Iowa. They have to play Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State. Iowa, they play Wisconsin, and that's pretty much it. And, they've got Minnesota as well, but that's about it.
Yeah, they have Nebraska in there, but it's like, okay.
Yeah. Nebraska's that low on the list to threats to Iowa, though, that I'm not too worried.
The one team that I'm worried about Iowa is Wisconsin. That game is in Camp Randall, by the way.
That's the one I'm worried about for them, too. And then Georgia and Alabama will play against each other, although Georgia still has to play
Florida.
Georgia still has to play Florida, and they still have to play number 16 Kentucky. Bama, let's see, so Georgia has Auburn this week, then they're at Auburn this week. They're at Auburn this week. They then play Kentucky, then they play Florida, then they get lucky, they play Mizzou, Tennessee, Charlotte Southern, and Georgia Tech to end the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's their ending schedule.
Still has to play A&M. That game is in Aggieland.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Then they're on the road again in Starkville. Then they have Tennessee at home, LSU at home, New Mexico State at home, Arkansas at home, and then they're in Auburn for the Iron Bowl.
If I'm Bama, I'm worrying about that Mississippi State game.
No, if I'm a Bama fan, I'm worrying about the Iron Bowl.
I'm saying beforehand, I'm worried about that Mississippi State game.
You see, I get Florida gave people kind of, I wouldn't say Florida gave people a blueprint on how to slow down.
They gave people an inclination.
They showed people to be like, okay, here's what you kind of got to do. Just, try and do that.
So here's the thing. You want to give so go ahead and give your 4 that you think are going to be in the college football playoff at the end of the year.
My 4.
Yep, and then I'll get mine.
Alabama, obviously, number 1, because,
Yeah.
It's not a surprise. It's not even the prediction is a spoiler by now.
Okay, Paul Heyman.
So, I'm sorry, it is. I know. As much as they're quoting Paul Heyman, it's just it's not even a fact. It's just a spoiler alert. Number 2, it's a very interesting one. Depending on what...
Tommy, you're muffled.
Depending on what happens with number 2, I say Iowa.
So currently number 2 is Georgia.
But they'll probably lose to Alabama in the SEC championship game.
If they don't lose to either Florida or Kentucky.
That's if they'll beat Kentucky.
I don't know about that.
Georgia will beat Kentucky. Is that game in the hedges?
It is, but
they'll win that game.
But it's the next week after they play Auburn, and then the week before they play Florida. I think they might overlook.
I forget they played Florida in Jacksonville.
I
forget that's a neutral site game.
I think they might overlook Kentucky because they're focusing on Florida. Georgia always struggles. Plus, this is a horrible 4-week gambit for them. They played Arkansas last week. They got Auburn this week. They got Kentucky next week, and they got Florida the week after.
Yeah, they have 3 straight games of 2. They have 3 straight 2-30 games right now.
They have 4 straight games against ranked teams. It's not looking good for them.
So I would say, my top 4 would be Alabama 1.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, this is my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama 1. Mm-hmm. Iowa is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
This is 3 and 4 are tough.
I have my 3 and 4. My 4 is going to shock you.
number 3 would be Cincinnati.
Okay.
And then my number 4 would be Oregon.
All right. My number 1 is Bama. I don't see anyone stopping them. They're going to roll over Georgia. My number 2 is Iowa. My number 3 is Cincinnati. And then my number 4 can go one of two ways. So this pretty much just hinges on, obviously, how the season shakes up.
Here's the thing about my 4. My 4 hinge on the fact that Oregon is critical for Oregon if they want to make the playoff to not lose a game the rest of the year.
So that's what the 2 that I have for number 4 are hinging on right now.
And then again, when the rankings, and then when the committee will do their rankings, we'll obviously, break it down and basically debate on what team should be where,
Mm-hmm.
Or I'd say the top 6, because they always show with their graphics, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then who are the 2 teams that are like there but not actually there.
Mm-hmm. And just like that, through the seamless editing, we are back. So Tommy, let's review for the people who you have for your 4.
So my 4 are Alabama 1.
Mm-hmm. Just say winner of the SEC championship.
So Iowa, the SEC champion.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati number 3.
Yep.
And then Oregon number 4.
Okay. And I have
my 5 and 6 teams would be Alabama number 5 and Oklahoma number 6, looking on the outside.
Okay. I have SEC champion either Bama or Georgia. Iowa, Cincinnati. Okay, so here are my 2 that I don't know if they're going to be 4 or 5. So I'm going to give you the first one, which is the one that I think is more likely to be number 4. You mentioned Oklahoma.
So here's the thing. You can flip Oklahoma and or Oregon depending on what happens.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think Oklahoma's going to get anywhere close. But another team in their state will. Currently, the number 12th ranked team in the nation is Oklahoma State.
I have to disagree with you there.
I think if Oklahoma State runs the gambit, they will have wins over Texas, they will have wins over Iowa State, and they will have wins over Oklahoma. I think that will be a good enough case, and they've beaten Baylor already this year last week. I think that will be a good enough case for them. They will have gone undefeated. They will be Big 12 champions. That might mean that they've beaten Oklahoma twice. I think that will give him a good enough case to be number 4. Or you can go this way. I think Oregon's going to get tripped up in either the Pac-12 championship game or one of the other ones. Therefore, I'm going to go with the team that will emerge as the runner-up to the Big 10 championship after losing to Iowa. I'm going to put Michigan in there.
Really?
I think Michigan, if Penn State, because here's the thing, I think if Penn State...
Jim Harbaugh's going to pull one out of his ass and actually beat Ohio State for once? What?
I think he might, because I think this is the most vulnerable we've seen Ohio State in a long time.
To be fair, you know what? As much as I hate to say that, you're kind of right.
Because it's almost the perfect storm for Michigan, because I got to check right now. I think they have both Michigan State... they're at Michigan State, and they're at...
at Michigan State. They're on the road against Michigan State, Penn State, and except the only home game they have against a conference opponent is Ohio State. A notable Big Ten East Conference opponent is Ohio State. They're on the road against Michigan State, and then on the road at Penn State.
Okay, so I'm going to change it up. Mine is then Michigan State. They catch Michigan at home. They are at the Horseshoe, but at that time, I think Ohio State will be so disheveled and everything that they just won't want to fight anymore, and they'll be looking ahead to Michigan, and they have Penn State at home. I think... let me just put it this way. It's going to be runner-up of the Big Ten championship, barring that it's not Penn State or Ohio State. It's Michigan or Michigan State.
Speculation right now.
I think
know until...
if Oklahoma State beats Texas and beats Oklahoma, I have a feeling that'll be a good enough case to get them in.
The CFP rankings start when?
Here shortly, I do believe. but I don't believe in.
They start the Tuesday, November the 2nd.
Okay.
So after week 9.
I don't believe in Oregon really to win out the rest of their time because they still have to play that Pac-12 championship game.
It is so for Oregon, it is crucial that they do not lose a game. They have to win out the rest of the year.
And that's why I'm saying I don't believe in them.
In order for them to make it.
That's why I'm saying I don't believe in them.
That loss against Stanford kind of, it didn't really pop the balloon. It kind of like put a little hole in it, and it's losing air very slowly, but it's not losing air fast.
That's why I think that they're going to lose probably to Arizona State in the championship, although I could see them getting caught at UW or at Utah. Utah always gives Pac-12 team fits.
No, it's Stanford that gives Pac-12 team fits.
No, I mean
Stanford is that team that always seems to give top Pac-12 teams a problem. I don't know what it is. That always happens.
Utah has been pretty much been the powerhouse in the South. Unfortunately, they ran into BYU this year, which is just a buzzsaw. So, honestly, and I have BYU looking out.
Tuesday, November 2nd.
We'll see at the end of the year. I have BYU looking on the inside out just because I think it's going to come down to, well, let me rephrase this. If Arizona State ends up winning the Pac-12, BYU has a shot at getting in. It is a very bad shot, but it's a shot.
I have to disagree with you on that. Cincinnati is that Power 5, is the Group 5 team.
I'm saying this is the year.
They beat Notre Dame. That's the only reason why.
They've also beaten Indiana.
The committee is going to see that and be like, wow, that's really great. Especially they went to Notre Dame and beat them.
Yeah, they did.
At 1:30 on NBC, like the committee is not going to hold that against them.
No.
That's their. Certain playoff teams always have that big, giant marquee win of the season. That's Cincinnati's. That's the marquee win for Cincinnati is that one against Notre Dame.
BYU has 2, and they came back-to-back weeks. Utah and Arizona State.
Okay, but where is Arizona State ranked right now? 22nd, if I'm not mistaken?
21st?
And where is Utah ranked? Utah is ranked.
Utah is not, but that's because of the emergence of San Diego State right now. So, here are Arizona State's wins. Last week they destroyed UCLA. They're at home against Stanford. They're at Utah State. Then they're home versus Wazoo and USC. At Washington and at Oregon, and then they're at home against Arizona.
Oh, I also forgot to say Cincinnati also beat Indiana.
I said that one already. Like, Cincinnati is that team this year, but I'm saying it almost feels like the perfect storm this year of how everything is stacking up that we might get 2 in.
This is the best time for a Group of 5 team to make the playoffs since Clemson has already lost 2 games, and we're not even into November. We're in October.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe Bama and Georgia lose 2 games, and then all of a sudden we're sitting here and it's Iowa.
One of those teams is going to lose a game, and then their second loss will come in the SEC championship.
Maybe
So the one thing that wouldn't surprise me is if Georgia drops the game against Florida, since that's a neutral site game.
Either drops one against Florida or drops one against Kentucky. Those are the 2.
No, Florida.
Maybe they lose this week at Jordan Hare. Maybe they lose this week at Jordan Hare.
Maybe.
It is Auburn, and Georgia struggles at Jordan Hare for some reason.
Yeah, that's true. All right, you want to get into picks now?
Let's do pick'ems. Pick'ems this week are brought. Hang on, we actually have a sponsor.
3 NFL games this weekend.
We have a sponsor, actually.
What?
We have a sponsor.
Oh, let's do the sponsor now.
Yeah. Pick'ems this week are brought to you by the National Hockey Association. Catch their games here weekly on B-Card Entertainment. This game of the week this week, it pits the Kansas City Scouts on the road against the Oklahoma City Armadillos. Tommy in that one, let's go ahead and pick that one. The Scouts are a 2-goal favorite. Who do you got in that one?
I don't know. I don't even know as much as that. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I don't know how to bet hockey. How does that work?
It's goals, basically. So, basically, it's just how many goals are they going to win by.
I'll go with the Scouts, I guess.
You got the Scouts by 2?
I guess.
Also notable in this game, it has the first ever openly gay player in the league history of the National Hockey Association, Jacob Young.
Yeah, I don't know how hockey works. I don't know how hockey works betting was. So.
Tune into that NHA Game of the Week. The NHA season will be starting up here shortly. And it'll be a good one. You can catch all that action right here on D-Card Entertainment. Tommy, let's do pick'ems.
All right, we'll start. We're only going to do 3 NFL games since we are recording this on a Friday.
So we started with NFC, or the NCAA. Let's go ahead and do that one.
No, we're only doing 3. Oh, yeah, let's do the NCAA first.
Since we were already talking about it.
All right, we're going to start off with our usual action game of the week.
So me and Tommy have actually handpicked all the games that we're doing this week.
Yeah, so we're going to start doing this now. We're going to handpick games in the map. We're going to be like Barstool. Some action, baby. We're going to get some action.
And Tommy, tell the people which one
we're going to have ourselves a barn burner in the game.
Tommy, tell the people which one we have selected this week. After careful consideration, mind you.
We have picked. We have looked at all the games, all the back games.
Actually, even before we should say this, I should say congratulations last week, Tommy. You finally beat me on picks.
I finally won. It takes to be crazy sometimes.
And I was
crazy against taking Georgia and all them points. Well, it worked out. They won by 37. Completely blanked Arkansas.
I was definitely crazy for taking Arkansas.
You were crazy of me to thinking that you were crazy to think that Georgia wasn't going to win that game
by 18. That's why. Anyway, go ahead. And we should say we both got the Maction pick right last week. Yes, Northern Illinois.
We did opposites on that game.
Did you not have Northern Illinois?
I thought you picked the others.
No, I picked Northern Illinois.
Oh, that's right. Okay, we did pronounce. I think the Arkansas and some other one. I don't remember.
But yes, last week we did indeed pick the correct team. Northern Illinois ended up beating Eastern Michigan, and I am slowly pulling up that score right now. Northern Illinois won 27-20. That was very much in their favor. They were like a 3.5 point favorite. So.
And that game hit the under too, by the way.
And I said it would. I'm just picking unders from now on, I think, in Maction.
Life's too short to bet the under, sir.
Yeah, well, it's Maction, so.
All right, sir. With careful consideration, after weeks-long talking and stalling, we have found our game, our Maction game of the week.
And it is
the Miami of Ohio, on the road against Eastern Michigan.
Boy, this is the second time that Eastern Michigan's been selected.
Rob?
Yeah.
Miami of Ohio is only a 1.5 point favorite on the road. The over-under game is 59.
At the factory, mind you.
Both teams, if I am not mistaken.
Miami of Ohio is 2-3. Eastern Michigan is 3-2. Miami of Ohio won last week against. It's slowly coming up. They beat Central Michigan last week.
They beat Central Michigan, correct, 28-17. Eastern Michigan is coming off of that loss on the road against Northern Illinois, 27-20.
Yep. Tommy?
So, Eastern Michigan is looking to bounce back. Do you think they do it this week? Yes or no?
Oh, so I'm going first this week. Oh.
I'll let you go first. I'll be a gentleman and let you have first picks.
Oh, well, thank you. It's in the factory. I'm going with the Eagles. I feel like they're out for blood. They're 3-2 this year. Miami of Ohio, when you look at their schedule, yes, they have that win over Central Michigan, but beyond that, they also have a win over LIU, which
plus they got the doors blown off of them against Cincinnati on the road.
Yeah, they got that win over Long Island, but that's about it for their wins. They got blown out by Cincinnati. They've been demolished by Army and by Minnesota. Just looking at it, this feels like a good win for the Eagles of Eastern Michigan.
It'll be a nice bounce back. I got Eastern Michigan as well.
Plus, where else better to do it than at home? against a fellow MAC opponent that is struggling this year. Yeah.
Now, the over-under is 59 in this game. Do you really think this game is going over?
I think it's going under.
I have to go with you under. I have to agree with you. I gotta go under as well.
I'm going to go ahead and scout next week's while you bring up the next game that we're picking.
Brock, the next game? What better way? Why not? It's the Texas State Fair this weekend. Might as well just do the Red River Rivalry. It's in the Cotton Bowl. Each team gets the same amount of tickets, so it'll be half red and half burnt orange. Which is obviously, as much as I hate the two teams, it's always cool to see when they're in the Cotton Bowl, to see it literally divided down the middle, half red and then half burnt orange.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's a bucket list for both of us. So,
as much as I hate both teams, it is a bucket list thing.
Look at the video I just sent you.
I did. I'm actually watching it right now.
God, I love baseball.
No audio. I'm actually watching it right now with no audio.
Oh, it's great. Anyway, go ahead and get the line for this one.
The main question is OU and Texas.
Yes.
Brock, Oklahoma is only a 3-point favorite against Texas.
Mm-hmm. I think
this game will always be in the Cotton Bowl. So if they don't flip, they don't go to Norman, they never go to Austin every other year. The game is played always in the Cotton Bowl every year.
Yep. I think 3 is way too much for this game to have.
It wouldn't surprise me if that goes down.
Give me the Longhorns, as much as it pains me.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like how Oklahoma has been playing these last few weeks in this season. They struggled against your Nebraska Cornhuskers. They struggled against Kansas State, which I said they would. I feel
they struggled against West Virginia.
They struggle against West Virginia. They are a struggling team. They struggle against Tulane. I feel like Texas is riding a high right now. This is the Red River rivalry. Oklahoma seems to be lost in their identity as an offense. For some reason, they're actually relying on defense to win ball games for them, which is not much.
Which is a crazy thought to pick up.
Which is not Big 12 at all.
I'm sorry, Brock. I have to go against you. This is the Nebraska fan talking. I can't pick Texas. I can't.
But you're gonna pick Oklahoma?
Yeah, I hate Texas more than I hate Oklahoma.
I hate Texas too. However, because I just don't like how Oklahoma's been playing recently.
As much as I have to agree with you, I think they are. This is going to be a game where it's just like, yeah, they're going to bust it open.
I don't know about that. I really don't know.
I have Oklahoma. I'm taking 3 points. That line is probably going to go down.
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if.
Now, the over/under in this game is only 63.5.
So I just took a peek at next week's Big 12 schedule. Next week it is Oklahoma State and Texas.
Where's that? Is that game in
Austin? It's in Austin. If so, the perfect scenario, and I love how I'm saying this too. The perfect scenario: Texas beats Oklahoma. Texas is riding that emotional high, and then Oklahoma State upsets them. And then you have Bedlam with it all on the line. Also, looking ahead to next week, we already talked about that BYU Baylor game. We also have Iowa State and Kansas State Farmageddon happening next week.
I'm not picking that game.
I actually wouldn't be opposed to that.
In the Red River game, the over/under is 63.5. Are you saying the over or the under?
Over. Always the over in this game.
I'm taking the game. I'm taking over.
Always the over in this game.
63.5. Alrighty, sir. The next game we have is a pretty interesting game.
What a play!
If I do say so myself. The game in question is number 13 Arkansas going on the road to Ole Miss.
Two teams that lost last week in embarrassing fashion.
Both just went into just steamrollers in Alabama and Georgia, respectively.
Big old buzzsaws. Tommy, what's the line on that one?
So Ole Miss is a 5.5-point favorite in this game. The over-under is 66.5.
I gotta say, hotty toddy, give me the Rebels from Ole Miss.
You think so?
I think they looked more impressive, definitely, than Arkansas did last week.
See, here's the thing. Ole Miss kind of put up a fight against Alabama.
They did, more so than Arkansas did against Georgia.
Arkansas just got straight up just stomped by Georgia's defense.
Embarrassed.
You know what? Yeah, screw it. I'll go with Ole Miss as well.
And it's in Oxford, so...
Yeah, that's a bucket list thing, tailgating in the Grove.
Oh, yeah. Tommy, what is our...
The over-under is 66.5. Are you taking the under or the over?
So what? That's what? Each team has to score at least 33?
At least. I'm going the under. I'm going the under in that game.
Yeah. I have to agree with you on that one.
Alrighty, next game up. It's our good old I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is.
The 2:30? Well, it's gotta be.
It's our 2:30 SEC game on CBS.
Dude, it's good old clean fashion hate. It's gotta be on 2:30.
The second-ranked Georgia Bulldogs go up against the 18th ranked Auburn Tigers. This game is in Jordan-Hare. Georgia is a 15.5-point favorite.
How are they favored less against Auburn than they were against Arkansas?
Because they're on the road for this game. That's the only reason why. It's the only reason why. Only. Other than that, Georgia's a 15.5-point favorite. Auburn is at home in Jordan-Hare.
Yeah.
The over-under in this game, though, is very intriguing to me. The over-under in this game is only 47.
Yeah. As much as I want Auburn to upset Georgia...
Oh, wait, that line moved. Georgia's now just a straight-out 15-point favorite.
Again, as much as I want Georgia to get upset by Auburn,
it's not happening, sir.
No, give me Georgia.
I'm taking the Dogs.
Even though, for whatever reason, Georgia struggles at Jordan-Hare, give me Georgia.
Now, the over-under is 47 in this game.
The over, Georgia's playing.
In my opinion, that's a very crooked number for an SEC game, especially against these two teams.
Yeah. Over, it's Georgia. They're a machine scoring.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that. I'll take the over. Life's too short to bet the under.
All right.
Cats.
And that brings us to the NFL this week, Tommy. Now, we can't pick the Thursday night game because that already happened.
We have one more game.
Oh?
It is a 6:30 game on the ACC network.
Oh, we are going with this one. Okay.
Number 14 Notre Dame on the road against Va Tech.
I forgot that we added this one.
So this game is a pick right now. It's even. The line's even right now. Brock, who do you have?
Give me the Hokies. Exit the Irish. Enter the Hokies. I think Lane Stadium's going to be popping. It's going to be probably an orange. It might be an Orange Crush game. I could totally see them doing maroon, though. Give me the Hokies. I feel like Notre Dame's been found out as a fraud. They struggled to beat Tulsa a few weeks ago. They've struggled all throughout this year. Virginia Tech is just that team in the ACC where I feel like they can give the North Carolinas, the Wake Forests, the NC States fits for the title this year.
That's true. I'm going with Tech as well. When they play Entertainment, that's going to be a straight electric factor.
It always is because it's Tech, dude. Come on. But no, okay. So because we don't have, how much they're gonna, it doesn't have, favored by how much. How much do you think?
The over/under is 47.
Not that.
We can differ on this one.
No, for you. This is just, not going against each other. How much do you think Virginia Tech wins by?
3.
You think they win by 3?
3. I think it's going to be closer than people think.
I think it's going to be 7, and here's why. I think Virginia Tech's going to be up by like 14, and then
I think
Notre Dame's going to score a garbage touchdown.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. That's why I'm saying it's by 3. Now the over/under in this game is 47. You see this game going over or under?
Over. Over 47, because that means someone scores 22, someone scores 25. That would be yours. If Virginia Tech was to win by 3. 21-26 would be right at it. So somebody scores 28, the other one scores 21. That's over.
Yeah, I'll go with the over.
Yeah, I gotta go over because, again, a lot of crooked numbers this week at the NCAA.
There are a lot of crooked numbers in the NCAA. Not in the NFL, though.
Yes, let's bring it on.
So
Tell me we can't
only have 3 NFL games because we were lazy and forgot to do.
No, we weren't lazy.
Actually, we weren't lazy. We just completely forgot to record before the Thursday night game.
No, we had a lot of stuff going on. Your family's now in town, up from Slidell, and
But still, we usually do a Thursday night game, which we forgot to do this week.
But this week, we found some suitable replacements. Let's say
we only found 3 games, though, which is a light number.
Did we do one of the ones that I suggested?
I don't think so. There's only 3 games.
A certain Rocky Mountain Way versus Yinzer?
I'm not doing that game.
It's 1.5.
Okay, we're only doing the 3 that you told me.
Okay, cool. All right, go ahead. Fire with the first one.
Our first game, Sunday night. Bills, Chiefs. Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite. Over/under in this game is 65.5.
Give me the Bills. I don't.
Oh fuck yeah, hell yeah! Give me the Bills, and I'm taking the over in this game.
Like I said, I don't like the Chiefs at all this year. They have been playing way too cocky since that Super Bowl, and I think what they really need, and especially the fans in Kansas City need, they need a smack back down to reality. I've already told you what my hope is for this team is that they don't make the playoffs and they have like a 15th, but they pick about mid-15th round or a 15th pick in the draft.
So you agree that the Chiefs just need a good ass kicking is what they need.
They need to be mediocre.
Pardon my language, but they just need a really good stern kick in the ass, and this would be the game to do it.
They need to be like. They need to end the year at like 9-10, 10-7, 9-10, somewhere in there.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, we both have the Bills, and I guess you would have. I'm agreeing that you have the over as well.
Yep.
Okay, good. Next game up.
Yeah, that
Chargers.
That Chiefs defense is just.
Dude, it looks like Bob Sutton's Chiefs defense.
Oh, so you didn't do the Packers-Bengals one that I suggested, did you?
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Say, there's 4 this week, bud.
Who's the favorite in that game?
Ah, crap. Hang on. Give me 1 second. I can pull it up too.
Because it's almost time for me to go to work by the time.
Yeah, I know. I see it. Hang on. Packers are favored by 3.
Okay, what's the over in that game?
50.5. It's in Cincinnati.
Give me the Packers.
3 is a weird one.
Give me the Packers. Let's go. Let's hurry.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah. Give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals.
You're taking the Bengals?
Yep.
I'm taking the over in this game.
Same. Next game.
Browns, Chargers. Chargers are a 2-point favorite at home.
The Chargers
I
look.
say at home with air quotes right now because you saw Monday night.
Yeah, but it's the Browns. They'll be at home.
I like the Chargers. They looked really good against Vegas.
Same. They looked impressive. I picked that one perfectly. You took the Raiders. I said I don't like the Raiders this year. They were about. It was about time for them.
They look really good right now. It's just that, like you said, it's just like, when the hell is it going to happen?
It's always around this time. It's always around October where they start to falter, and we saw it.
I feel like you're right. It's always around that halfway point through the season where it's like, yeah, they're going to falter a game somewhere. All right, over-under is 47. Over-under is 47. Over or under? I'm going over.
Yeah, well, hang on. Chargers who?
Chargers, Browns.
Give me the under. The Chargers and Browns have been hitting the under a lot recently.
I'm going over. Life's too short to bet the under.
All right, next game.
All right, Monday Night
Final
Football.
game.
Colts, Ravens. Ravens are a 7-point favorite. Over-under is 45.5.
As much as it pains me, the Colts are going to get the crap kicked out of them this game.
Yep, I got the Ravens. And I also have the over in this game.
Give me the under, because the Colts defense is actually...
I take that back. I'm taking the under.
The Colts defense is sneakily good, and because of that, and the Ravens, are one-dimensional, and that's the one thing that the Colts are... I'm actually now starting to talk myself into maybe the Colts winning this one.
No, they're losing this game, sir. You might as well just be a homer and pick them.
They're going to lose, but it's not going to be by 7. It's going to be like 3, because the Colts seemingly always lose close games.
That's true.
So, give me the Colts.
I mean, let's see. We're actually going to record this on Tuesday next week, if I'm not mistaken, for real this time.
I hope.
Yes, I hope so.
So, I know that we're going to record the other one. Anyway, wrap up time. Tommy, you got anything else to plug?
Nothing really.
All right. I'm going to let you go ahead and get out of here. So, Tommy, go ahead and say your goodbyes to everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See ya, bud.
See ya.
That has been Tommy Haley for Big Time Talkers. This is the wrap-up now afterwards. Just a friendly reminder, per usual, every week here on Big Card Entertainment, we do the 2 podcasts. Of course, the one you're listening to right now, Big Time Talkers. Also, for the wrestling fans, we also have We Are Not Entertained, which Tommy refers to it all the time as Wayne. Also, other things to remind you of course, you heard the ad for NWA, the National Hockey Association Game of the Week coming up this week. It is the Kansas City Scouts against the Oklahoma City Armadillos. Kansas City is a 2-point favorite in that one. Over-under in that one is 5. So make sure to be looking out for that game coming up here on B-Card Entertainment. Of course, as always, HCW action. They got a next show coming up, HCW Homecoming, here shortly, here in the next week or so. That is all that I have here from B-Card Entertainment and Big Time Talkers. I've been Brock Dorton, and from all of us here, thank you for listening. Be back next week, where hopefully by the time we talk, the White Sox have come back and won the series, and Tampa's also clinched. Hopefully we'll have a Game 5 between the Brewers and Braves. Baseball's awesome, folks. Baseball rules, bro. Wrestling rules. And this has been Big Time Talkers. Have a nice rest of your day.